This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We did not have an enormously busy weekend of stakes, but some interesting and competitive fields. We had grade 1 2-year-old fillies out in Southern California. Before we get to California, we'll start things off, however, in Florida. Tampa Bay Downs opened for their winter meet on Saturday. They started things off with their stakes feature, the Lightning City, for fillies and mares sprinting on the turf.
And they're off and running in the 7th running of the Lightning City. Susona is away very sharply and right to the early lead. Aegean comes away second. Trippy Sailor up between horses now third. And the last horse away, the late running Omega Cat. Up the backstretch, Trippy Sailor with a quick turn of foot now going to the lead. Susona is there toward the rail second. Jahan moves up on the outside in perfect position third. Aegean, the favorite, is from between horses and now on the prowl fourth. Then it's 2.5 lengths farther back toward the rail. That's Tremendante Loco now racing along fifth. On the outside, Mother Russia is sixth with a quarter of a mile still to run. Here comes Jahan sweeping up on the outside. Trippy Sailor is giving way there toward the rail. 3 lengths farther back on the outside, Omega Cat coming on Susana, and Aegean inside the final furlong. Jahan on the outside. Trippy Sailor battling back gamely, but here comes Susana on the outside, finishing in full stride, and will take it at 6-1. On the wire by a neck, Trippy Sailor was second, close for third. Looks like Tremendante Loco might have got up in 56-4.
Susona picks up the victory, a little bit over 6-1. She scores by a half a length over the speedy Trippy Sailor at 28-1. Another price horse at almost 15-1. Tremendamente Loca rounds out the top three. A very competitive race as the horses were fairly close all throughout the running of the stretch. Susana off a third place finish for a 40 tag last time out sprinting at Churchill Downs. She is now 16 for 37 lifetime. Certainly a very nice mare and continues to do very well, and obviously pretty quick time as well. Of course, that may be more representative of the outstanding condition of the turf course as they begin the meet here at Tampa. Susana is a chestnut mare, a daughter of the name's Jimmy from Plunka by Sonny's Halo. Bred in Kentucky by Larry Cunningham and Sharon Cunningham, owned by Sandy Valley Farms and trained by Ben Feliciano Jr. Ridden to victory by Hector Ramos, Susana covers the 5 in 56.83. We'll stay in Florida. We'll head to Calder now for our next stakes feature. The Fred W. Hooper, a grade 3 for older horses.
And they're off. And a perfect start. St. Maximus Gatto broke beautifully and goes out toward the lead. Tackleberry from the inside is quicker though, and so is Cash Rules, and Tackleberry will make the lead as they pass the stands for the first time. He's got it almost a length. Cash Rules runs second, then St. Maximus Gatto. Chirac has made his way over to the rail. They're followed by Imperial Council, who races in the 3 path as they make their way into the turn. Then Dream Maestro inside of Mambo Meister. King Ghidra is the trailer of the 8 pack as they run toward the back stretch, and they're covered now by about 10 lengths after a very moderate opening quarter of 24 seconds flat. So Tackleberry setting very reasonable fractions, but prompted just a bit now by Cash Rules. And these two have stepped away from the field. They must have put 7 lengths on Chirac, who runs along in third. Then St. Maximus Gatto, who's already coming under a ride as Dream Maestro goes by from the inside, and Dream Maestro is moving beautifully down at the rail. He is now into third as they go that half mile in 48-3. Tackleberry, Cash Rules continue to race 1-2 less than a half mile out, and they're still well clear of the field. Dream Maestro runs third. Chirac up on his outside. Mambo Meister is starting to get involved. Mambo Meister is taking the inside route, and the entire field is starting to close just a bit on these 2 leaders as they wind around the far turn. Tackleberry and Cash Rules have been there every step of the way. Chirac is now coming for them 3 wide. Dream Maestro is just in behind them, and Mambo Meister is drawn run within range. She's now taken to the outside, drifting 4 wide as they bunch up at the head of the stretch. Here's Dream Maestro from between runners. Tackleberry is there. She Rock and Mambo Meister every chance down the center of the track, but Dream Maestro got first run. Dream Maestro, Tackleberry fighting tooth and nail from the inside. Dream Maestro, Tackleberry's coming back. Dream Maestro or Tackleberry, heads bobbing on the line in the Hooper.
Tackleberry picks up the win on the stretch out. This is his 4th win in a row. He won the Jack Dudley Sprint last time out in the Florida Bred Series. They ran on the 13th of November. Very nice effort that day. And here on the stretch out, holds on to win by a game nose over long shot Dream Maestro, who was coming back off a 3rd in the Rose Classic on that same day. Mambo Meister, always a steady customer, a horse for course at Calder, completes the order of the top 3. The winner, Tackleberry, is a dark Bear Brown gelded son of Montbrook from Box of Joy by Concerto. Bred in Florida by the Ocala stud and owned by Luis Oliveras, trained by the owner and ridden to victory by Javier Santiago, Tackleberry covers the 9, 154.42. We'll head to Maryland next, and it's 2-year-old fillies at Laurel on Saturday afternoon in the Maryland Juvenile Championship, restricted to fillies bred in Maryland.
They're off. Love's Reason off to a sharp beginning there, side by side, away in solid order. But now Malibu Beach Bunny's up there too, and Oriental Cruise is cruising up to the lead. Oriental Cruise has taken over. Congaree Princess settles about 4.5 lengths off the leaders now as they journey on up the backstretch. It's going to be Malibu Beach Bunny and Oriental Cruise down to the inside, sparring on the pace. Congaree Princess just 3rd, and Love's Reason is next. Side by side, will have to come from last, but the pace is pretty solid out there as leading the way is Oriental Cruise. Oriental Cruise keyed up 3/4 of a length. Malibu Beach Bunny 2nd. Congaree Princess. Love's Reason now begins to roll. Love's Reason takes the 3rd spot and takes aim on the lead around the far turn. Oriental Cruise side by side, still lingering in last position into the far turn run. Oriental Cruise. Malibu Beach Bunny back to the attack now. Congaree Princess has dropped back just a bit now as Love's Reason is still in good striking range. Her side by side still last, and 8 to make up at the top of the stretch. Oriental Cruise from a pressured Malibu Beach Bunny. It's 2 to Love's Reason in 3rd, and side by side off the inside, Congaree Princess is last as they make the turn for home. Oriental Cruise, Love's Reason now set down to the outside. Oriental Cruise and Love's Reason side by side to the far outside, a furlong left to go. But here's Love's Reason for Hillwood Stable. Travis Dunkelberger opening up the lead to Oriental Cruise, and side by side, Love's Reason to take the Maryland Juvenile Filly Championship from Oriental Cruise side by side.
Love's Reason picks up the victory by 2 1/4 lengths. She'd run a couple of decent races prior to throwing in a little bit of a clunker last time out at 1 mile and a 16th in Allowance Company. However, here she gets the blinkers added and handles the drop back in distance to the unusual distance of 7.5 furlongs and scores the victory by 2 1/4 lengths as the favorite over Oriental Cruise was side by side back in 3rd. The winner, Love's Reason, is a chestnut daughter of Not for Love from Elaine's Reason by Sky Classic. Bred in Maryland by John T. Crane and Jr. and Margaret Crane, owned by the Hillwood Stable and trained by Rodney Jenkins, ridden to victory by Travis Dunkelberger, Love's Reason covers the 7.5 at 133.88. We'll continue now with stakes racing action. We'll head to Turfway Park, where the weather has not been all that cooperative, but we've had no cancellations or anything like that. We're just starting out the meet, so hopefully things will continue on in good form over the course of the winter at Turfway Park. It was fillies and mares on Saturday afternoon in the My Charmer.
And they're off. For the lead from the inside, that's DeCountry. Down along the rail, Senega, followed on the inside by Whistling Jean. Then it's Coastal Solace with Miss Blakely, My Baby Baby, and Kiss Mine on the extreme outside, both very wide as they move into the first turn. DeCountry ahead in front, Whistling Jean 2nd, a half length, Coastal Solace 3rd. My Baby Baby making a quick move now up on the outside, and My Baby Baby now heading ahead for the lead with the Country and Coastal Solace. Kiss Mine has moved into fourth. Down along the inside, Whistling Gene has dropped back in fifth. Then from between horses, Seneca sixth. Miss Blakely is seventh. Then between horses, that's Miss Catalyst. It's a length back to Orchestrator and Haka. Joxy Roxy trails half and 49 and 1. They're into the turn, and Coastal Solace now has the lead a half length. On the outside, My Baby Baby. Those two are right together. Now Seneca moves up and takes third ahead. Or rather, De Country takes third ahead. Up on the outside, Kiss Mine is fourth. Seneca moves up fifth. Whistling Gene has dropped back in sixth. Center of the track, Miss Blakely, as they move into the stretch. My Baby Baby, now up on the outside. Here comes Kiss Mine, still on the inside, Coastal Solace. Then Seneca from between horses, but Kiss Mine now gets the lead from Coastal Solace. It's Kiss Mine and Greta Kunzweiler. Kiss Mine, 3 for 3 at Turfway. Takes the My Charmer over Coastal Solace. My Baby Baby third, then a photo.
Kiss Mine gets the victory here, and one has to assume that with a pedigree like Mineshaft and Kiss the Devil, they couldn't wait to name this horse that. But she makes a nice bid from 5 wide to score by a length and a half, and a solid move from off the pace over Coastal Solace, a big long shot at almost 6 to 1. With My Baby Baby back in the third spot, a horse that we've seen run pretty solid races both on the turf and the dirt, now handling the synthetic as well. The winner, Kiss Mine, coming out of a solid second place finish in the graded Cardinal on the Churchill Downs turf course, had won 4 in a row earlier this year, so she's clearly a filly with some quality. This is her 8th lifetime victory. Kiss Mine is a daughter of Mineshaft from Kiss the Devil by Chris S., bred in Kentucky by the Hermitage Farm and owned by Carl F. Pollard, trained by David Vance and ridden to victory by Greta Kunzweiler. Kiss Mine covers the mile in a 16th and 148.65. We will continue slightly further westward, in Remington Park hosting a relatively new 2-year-old race at the end of the year, the Springboard Mile. 1 mile, $250,000 for 2-year-olds.
They're off in the Springboard Mile. Great start for all. Out sharply, Aces and Kings and Brickyard Fast. They hook up in the opening strides from the outside. Here comes Grant Jack to join that fray as they go to the turn. Royal Eavesdropper is tucked in a close fourth, and Caleb's Posse is fifth, just 4 off the lead, and inside of Trubbs. Gap of 2 then back to Twinspired, who's a length and a half clear of Bluegrass Bull. At the rail moving along is Rampage. Outside rolling is Rampage. That's Chip Shot outside rolling along. Having to take up a tad there in slight traffic, Cactus Sun. And then back to Behold Dubai, 15 off the lead. Opening quarter in 23 and 1. 5 furlongs to run, and up front, Brickyard Fast knocking it out with Aces and Kings. Grant Jack is third to the outside, a length and a quarter off of it. Caleb's Posse right there fourth, a half length better than Trubbs. To the inside, Royal Eavesdropper is a close 6, just 4 off the lead. As they get the half-mile marker going on to the far turn, trying to pull clear, Brickyard Fast and Aces and Kings. They've really been working each other. They're right there together. Caleb's Posse and Grant Jack now in the next flight. Coming on is Trubbs 5th, still 6th off the lead. Twinspired at the rail trying to move. Chip Shot 7th and rolling along. 47 seconds for the half. They have a quarter mile left to go, and Brickyard Fast gets clear of Aces and Kings as they leave the turn. Brickyard Fast is there under Brian McNeil, out by a pair. Now coming on to the far outside, Grant Jack. Aces and Kings has an answer to Brickyard Fast at the 8th pole. Brickyard Fast there by a half length. Aces and Kings, Grant Jack. Trubbs in 4th. Farther back to Chip Shot. Outside, here comes Grant Jack, and Grant Jack takes the lead. Brickyard Fast trying to battle back. Grant Jack in the springboard by length. Grant Jack takes the springboard with a determined effort down the middle of the stretch. Brickyard Fast holds second over Aces and Kings third.
Grant Jack picks up the victory. A little bit of a betting anomaly in this field, as the heavy favorite was Caleb's Posse. He was odds on in this field off of a couple of pretty nice races, including a win in the prep for this race, the Clever Trevor, going shorter. However, on the stretch out, Grant Jack, who had run a good second behind Caleb's posse last time out in the Clever Trevor, ends up picking up the victory by a length. It was a close finish between Brickyard Fast and Aces and Kings, both at big prices to complete the exacta. Brickyard Fast gets his nose down on the wire. Aces and Kings off a big problem, a real mess of a race when he ran last time out down in the Delta Jackpot. Rebounds with a much improved effort, tracking the pace and just missing second. The winner, Grant Jack, off a second place in the Clever Trevor, had been third prior to that in a Keeneland Turf Allowance. He is a 2-year-old son of Harlan's Holiday from Dreamaway by Saint Jovite, obviously a pedigree, certainly to go a little bit longer. Bred in Kentucky by Nancy Dillman and owned by Wayne Sanders and Larry Hirsch, trained by Brett Calhoun, ridden to victory by Clifton Berry. Grant Jack covers the mile in 137.98. We'll pause for a brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to the West Coast for racing action from Golden Gate and Hollywood Park. Please stay with us.
This portion of the program brought to you by Capital Bets. For more information, go to capitalotb.com.
Catch the excitement with Capital OTB online. It's now easier than ever with internet wagering at capitalotb.com. Wager online and get track odds, online contests, membership specials, and it's secure and fan-friendly. Whether it's a big stakes day like the Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, Travers Stakes, Breeders' Cup, or just a great day of racing, wagering online at capitalotb.com is always simple and easy. Sign up today at capitalotb.com because your chances are better with Capital OTB.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now in Northern California. Golden Gate Field on Saturday afternoon hosting 2-year-olds in the Gold Rush Stakes.
Straightens, racing like a rack after acting up in the gate, begins about midfield. Positive Response, the early leader. Francisco Duran making a bit of use of Eddie Codana from gate 1. He's second out of the stretch, followed in the Gold Silks by Runaway Wildcat. Luckarack is fourth on the inside of Rule He Must. This pair 4 off the early speed. Mr. Candy Bar is 6th ahead of Grand Maneuver, and King Cola trails with 6 furlongs left to go. Positive Response, the leader, by 2.5 lengths Eddie Codana, 1.5 lengths to Runaway Wildcat running third with his neck arched. Rule He Must on the inside 4th, 1.5 lengths Mr. Candy Bar, 5 off the lead. He's around Grand Maneuver and Luckarack, who drifts back next to last with King Cola last of the 8 candidates in the Gold Rush field. Positive Response takes them along to the half-mile pole, 2.5 lengths clear of Eddie Codana and Rule He Must, who's improving nicely along the rail. Grand Maneuver 1.5 lengths back, 4th on the inside of Runaway Wildcat. 2 lengths to Mr. Candy Bar, then Luckarack and King Cola. 8 lengths covering the field. 3/8 left to go. And Positive Response maintains a clear lead from Rule He Must and Eddie Codana. Grand Maneuver being Satellite by Marwing is coming home well in the 3 path. After 2.5 lengths is Mr. Candy Bar, then Runaway Wildcat, King Cola, Luckarack last. 3/16 from home. Positive Response, the leader, giving plenty. He's about 2.5 lengths to the good of Grand Manoeuvre and Rule He Must, and then comes Mr. Candy Bar, but Positive Response has absolutely run them into the ground. He'll take the Gold Rush by 6 lengths. Grand Manoeuvre holding on to second from the fast finishing King Cola. Rule He Must fourth, and then Mr. Candy Bar. A gap to Runaway Wildcat. Luck-a-Rack and Eddie Kodana last to complete the course. The time 137.75, a big win to Positive Response.
Positive Response picks up the victory. This is kind of an interesting horse. He had broken his maiden for a claiming tag at Woodbine, was sent to the sidelines and reappeared in Northern California, where he hit the board last time out, running okay in a starter. Actually won a starter last time out and finished fourth in another starter prior to that. It appears that he was probably a private purchase, taken out to the West Coast by trainer Bill Morey and some of his partners, and obviously it's turned out to be a pretty nice acquisition as he goes to the front and draws clear, winning away by 6 lengths over Grand Manoeuvre, with King Cola back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Positive Response, is a 2-year-old bay gelded son of Pomeroy from Lisa's Approval by Farm Away. Bred in Florida by Rosebrook Farm and Moreau Bloodstock International, owned by Saul Geverts, Bill Morey, Roger Newman, and Ray Pagano. Trained by Bill Morey and ridden to victory by Julian Coutant. Positive Response covers the mile in 137.75. We'll head to Southern California now for a trio of stakes races, starting things out the $55,000 5-furlong Miles Tyson on Saturday afternoon.
They're off. Cost of Freedom broke perfectly and goes right for the front. Square Deal broke a bit awkwardly. Cost of Freedom and El Scorpio 1-2. Then comes Square Deal inside of Quick Enough as they pass the half-mile pole, and Cost of Freedom, the California bred, is the leader. He's a neck in front of El Scorpio in second. It's 3 lengths now to Square Deal. He's a clear third now, 3/4 of a length in front of Quick Enough as they round the far turn and run to the quarter pole in the first Miles Tyson Stakes, and Cost of Freedom is the leader. He's now 1.5 lengths in front of El Scorpio. Square Deal is running up outside of El Scorpio, and now Square Deal takes second. At the rail, Quick Enough is still fourth and last. Final furlong, Cost of Freedom. Joe Talamo is motionless on Cost of Freedom, and he leads now by 4 lengths. Square Deal, Quick Enough rallies inside. Looks like Quick Enough will get second, but Cost of Freedom with another outstanding win. Cost of Freedom won by 4, could have been twice that. Quick Enough second, Square Deal third, El Scorpio fourth, and the final running time is a new cushion track record, 56.14 seconds.
If you blink, you missed it. Cost of Freedom sets a new track record, going 56.14 on the synthetic surface at Hollywood Park under Joe Talamo. Went to the front and never looked back. I think it's fair to say that some may think that he's probably not as sharp as he once was. He hasn't spent most of his year this year running in graded stakes company, but he's had a pretty nice season going into this race. He had earned over $245,000. He has now won 3 in a row, starting with the Cal Cup Sprint, returning in the Vernon Underwood, and now picking up this victory in which he sets a new track record. Cost of Freedom scores over Quick Enough with Square Deal back in third. Cost of Freedom is a 7-year-old dark bear brown gelded son of Seas Tizzy from Freedom Dance by Moscow Ballet. Bred in California by the Harris Farm and owned by Gary and Cecil Barber, trained by John Sadler, ridden to victory by Joe Talamo. Cost of Freedom sizzles the 5 furlongs new track record time of 56.14. Next up, our lone Grade 1 race for the weekend, 2-year-old fillies and the Hollywood Starlet.
They're off. Nina Fever and Mayday Rose. Big Tiz is taken back. Turbulent Descent takes third. Zazu 3 wide. Ben Kelly at the rail. True Way of Grace, and the early trailer is Luna Grande. Nina Fever to the backstretch as Mayday Rose will back off and sit second. So Nina Fever sets the pace a length in front. Mayday Rose is a willing and tugging second, though. These two are 2.5 or 3 clear of Big Tiz. Turbulent Descent is placed at the rail by David Flores. In the yellow and about 4.5 off the lead. Zazu just outside of her.
True Way of Grace has 8 lengths to make up. She's a length in front of Luna Grande, and Grade 1 Stakes winner Tella Kelly is 13 lengths behind as they head up the backstretch in the 30th. Hollywood Starlet, Nina Fever, and Mayday Rose still 1-2. Half-mile marker, Nina Fever leads by a measured 3/4 of a length now as Mayday Rose is closer in second. Big Tiz is hard held in third, going to be 3 wide. Turbulent Descent is going to stay at the rail. She is 2.5 lengths off the lead now. Zazu has 5 to come. Then comes True Way of Grace and Luna Grande, and the trailer is still Tella Kelly. She's 9 lengths behind Mayday Rose, who makes her move for the lead. Mayday Rose is now ahead in front. Turbulent Descent comes off the fence, and here she comes 3 wide. Nina Fever battles at the rail. Big Tiz 4 wide. Tella Kelly is 5 lengths behind. Top of the stretch. Turbulent Descent makes her move. Mayday Rose responds inside. These two are a length clear of Big Tiz. Tella Kelly is now 4 from Turbulent Descent, who is now in front by 2 lengths. Big Tiz is into second. Turbulent Descent a final 50. Big Tiz, Tella Kelly, she's undefeated. And our Grade 1 Stakes winner, Turbulent Descent! Turbulent Descent wins the 30th Hollywood Starlet by a length and a quarter over Big Tiz, Tella Kelly, and Mayday Rose.
Turbulent Descent picks up her 3rd in a row, making her record 3 for 3. First root of ground for this daughter of Congrats didn't seem to prove a problem. She rated kindly, did drift in a little bit when she did get to the front, but I think that may be a training issue more than anything else, as she was able to hold sway by a measured length and a quarter as the favorite at a tick over even money. Big Tiz completes the order of the exact at 37-1 as Tella Kelly out of the Breeders' Cup running back 3rd. The winner, Turbulent Descent, now 3 for 3, a bay 2-year-old daughter of Congrats from Rogers Sioux by Forestry. Bred in Florida by the Ocala Stud, owned by Blinkers On Racing, Dave Aurelio, Robert Butler, Jolene Coons et al., and trained by Mike Pipey, ridden to victory by David Flores. Turbulent Descent covers the mile in the 16th in 144.18. We'll head back to Hollywood Park once more. Sunday's stakes feature Calbred fillies and mares at, again, that unusual distance of 7.5 furlongs in the Cat's Cradle.
They're off. Word Association and Camille C. fast into stride. You Are All That I Am and Ultra Blend away 3rd and 4th. Then Warren's Jitterbug, and the early trailer is Warren's Got Game. It is Camille C. and Word Association out of the chute. Camille C's a neck in front. Word Association is second by a length and a quarter. Warren's Jitterbug tugs between horses. At the rail, You Are All That I Am. They're 2 from the front. Ultra Blend races in 5th and about 4 lengths off the lead. And then it's 5 lengths last to Warren's Got Game. Midway up the backstretch in the 14th. Cat's Cradle Handicap, Word Association, and Camille C. Their strides are synchronized. A half mile from the money. Word Association outside, Camille C. at the rail. Warren's Jitterbug is now a neck in front of defending champion You Are All That I Am. They are 3rd and 4th respectively and 2.5 off the lead. Ultra Blend races in 5th, pushed along a bit now by Rosario. She's still 4 from the front, and then 6 lengths last to Warren's Got Game rounding the far turn. Word Association and Camille C. Word Association is a half length in front. Camille C. is second. Ultra Blend now moves within 2 of the lead, and here's Ultra Blend in the center of cushion track, and she is on the move. Word Association has put away Camille C., but Ultra Blend has put away Word Association, and Ultra Blend takes charge and runs away. Ultra Blend straight and strong to the wire. Ultra Blend wins the 14th Cat's Cradle, and she won by 3.5. Word Association second. Warren's Jitterbug 3rd. Warren's Got Game 4th.
Ultra Blend picks up the victory. A nice effort by this horse, who spent a fair amount of time running against some pretty nice horses. She is a graded stakes-placed filly. Last time out, the winner of the Cal Cup Matron. She returns here once again with state breds and scores by 3 1/4 lengths over Word Association, with Warren's Jitterbug back in 3rd. The winner, Ultra Blend, is a bay filly, a daughter of Richly Blended from Anka by Desert Classic. Bred in California by B&D Chase Thoroughbreds and Elvin Adams, owned by Nels Erickson and trained by Art Sherman. Ridden to victory by Joel Rosario, Ultra Blend covers the 7.5 in 129.76. We'll head back home now for a pair of stakes races over the course of the weekend at the Big A. We'll head back to Saturday afternoon in the Grade 3 Queens County for older horses.
And they're off. Senior's Pride and Stormy's Majesty. Senior's Pride steps out for the lead. Stormy's Majesty and Edgar Prado going to back off and angle outside as they make their way for the clubhouse turn. Pedrolino's in between horses. Modern Cowboys on the outside. And Arson Squad takes up a spot at the rail, well in hand behind a relatively easy early pace. There's 3 lengths back to the trailer, More Than a Reason. So the field moves into the clubhouse turn, what appears to be a leisurely fashion. Indeed it is. 24-4 was the opening quarter mile. Senior's Pride on the lead by 2. Edgar Prado is setting up outside for that run into the backstretch. Now second with Stormy's Majesty. Modern Cowboy 3 wide and third. And Arson Squad moving sweetly while fourth and then behind the lead down inside. Then it's Pedrolino and 3.5 lengths back to the trailer, More Than a Reason. So they sail through the opening half mile in 50 2/5 seconds. Senior's Pride, Stormy's Majesty just sidles up alongside him. Modern Cowboy in the clear, and now third with 4.5 furlongs remaining here. Arson Squad has had a beautiful trip so far. There's a half mile to go, and he's still only 3 lengths from the lead. Then Pedrolino and More Than a Reason. The field moving into the far turn. 3/4 up in a soft 15 3. Senior's Pride, the tempo quickly now. Stormy's Majesty there on the outside. Modern Cowboy all-out drive. Still third. Arson Squad bottled up on the fence. He'll need some running room, but he's ready to roll as the field turns for home. They're at the top of the stretch. Senior's Pride, Stormy's Majesty giving his final cue. Here he comes, and he's roused to the lead by Edgar Prado. More Than a Reason arrives on the scene late on the outside. Arson Squad's in the thick of it. Wild finish. More Than a Reason. Arson Squad, Stormy's Majesty. More Than a Reason. And Stormy's Majesty. More Than a Reason, the upset winner of the Queens County. Over Stormy's Majesty, Arson Squad was third.
More Than a Reason. Nice to see this guy pick up the win. He was the second longest shot on the board, and he scores by a head from off the pace. And he didn't really get a ton of pace to close into, but he did rally strongly under Eddie Castro in a game finish over the very solid 3-year-old Stormy's Majesty, with Arson Squad back in the third spot as the even money favorite. The winner, More Than a Reason, coming in out of a 4th place finish in the overnight Mad Hatter Stakes to the very good Senior's Pride. He was 4 for 18 going into this race for this year, not lifetime, but for this year. He's 12 for 60 lifetime, and he is one of those horses that they keep running him, and he is kind of a bit of an old school type of horse. They run him where he fits. He wins a lot of money, and here scores, picking up Grade 3 credentials, and I think hard fought and probably much appreciated Grade 3 credentials. And certainly people who are fans of this horse know that he's been out there knocking heads with some pretty competitive horses over the course of a long season here in Aqueduct, and happy to see him rewarded. More Than a Reason is a bay son of More Than Ready from Sab's Reason by Sabona. Bred in Kentucky by Ron and Tom Kirby, owned by Anthony Calabrese and trained by Randy Persaud. Ridden to victory by Eddie Castro, More Than a Reason covers the mile in 3/16 and 157.69. It was an overnight stakes feature on the Sunday card at the Big A. 3-year-old fillies going a mile in the cheap seats.
And they're off. Malibu Legacy racing to the lead. From the inside, it's Hathier into the first turn. Malibu Legacy clears the field. Hathier there second on the inside. A little traffic for Mind Over Matter down on the fence. On the outside, it's Quiet Giant who will be forwardly placed. Then over down to the rail, Mind Over Matter back running along in fourth now, followed by Indian Burn. The early trailer will be Potosina as the field makes the turn up the backstretch run. Malibu Legacy the leader, prompted by Quiet Giant, followed by Hathier. And on the outside, Indian Burn, Cornelia Velasquez keeping after her. And she's followed by Mind Over Matter now, is about 5.5 from the leader. Another 4 or 5 back to Potosina, who's dropped back as the field reaches the half-mile pole, with Malibu Legacy in control through a half mile in 49 seconds flat. Malibu Legacy still in command there, just sailing along while in front, tracked intently by Quiet Giant as they approach the top of the stretch. Indian Burn all out third, Hathier all out fourth, Mind Over Manor all out fifth. Wide off the turn, Malibu Legacy, Quiet Giant floated out to the middle of the track. Quiet Giant, Malibu Legacy now, and those two will arrive at the 8th pole with Quiet Giant going the better of the two. And Quiet Giant doing much better of the two and all the rest. Quiet Giant's going to rocket away from the field in the last 1/8 of a mile. Malibu Legacy enjoyed that off-going today, finishing second, three-way photo for third among Indian Burn, Potosina, and Mind Over Matter.
Quiet Giant picks up stakes credentials here. Kind of an interesting filly, a 3-year-old daughter of Giant's Causeway, had been sent to Todd Pletcher's second string or maybe even third string group over the spring and summer. Broke her maiden and won an allowance race in the Mid-Atlantic, and then was given a little bit of time off. Came back this fall at Belmont Park and was beaten in a couple of overnight stakes. A little bit more freshening time, and here, with just about the right kind of company, she scores the victory, drawing clear by 8 3/4 lengths over Malibu Legacy, with Indian Burn back in the third spot. The winner, Quiet Giant, a bay daughter of Giant's Causeway from Quiet Dance by Quiet American, making her a half to champion St. Liam, was bred in Virginia by Edward P. Evans, owned by the breeder, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Quiet Giant covers the mile in 1:38.46. That'll wrap up this week's edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the program and will be able to join us once again next week as we take a look at more great stakes racing action from across the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.